Today, we've got some exciting news for all the Samsung fans out there. Rumors have been circulating that Samsung would use the same chip for all versions of the upcoming Galaxy Z Fold 6 and Z Flip 6. Well, today we have more proof that this is true. So let's dive right into it. The international version of the Galaxy Z Fold 6 has appeared on Geekbench, and it's showing the same hardware as the US version. Earlier this month, the Galaxy Z Fold 6 for the USA, model number SMF956U, was benchmarked. This was the first time the Galaxy Z Fold 6 appeared online, and its early benchmark results were quite impressive. Now we have the international version of the Galaxy Z Fold 6 making an appearance on the same online benchmark platform. This version, with the model number SMF956B, is set to be released in Europe and other countries, and as expected, the international Galaxy Z Fold 6 runs Android 14 and features the same Pineapple motherboard and Volt governor, indicating it is powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chipset. What's interesting is that the newly tested international version also has 12 gigabytes of RAM, just like the US version. This pretty much confirms that the Galaxy Z Fold 6 will come with at least 12 gigabytes of memory across all regions. However, there was something unusual about this new Geekbench entry for the SMF956B. The international model scored considerably lower than the US version, around 500 points less in single-core tests and nearly 50% less in multi-core tests. Now, don't let this gap in benchmark scores confuse you. It's not uncommon for pre-release devices to show differences in scores. This is why we often say that benchmark scores, especially for unreleased phones, aren't always reliable. Many factors could have influenced these scores, and they don't necessarily reflect the actual performance of the Qualcomm chip. If the international Galaxy Z Fold 6 had been powered by Exynos, many people in the Android community would likely be quite upset about the significant performance gap between Snapdragon and Exynos chips. But rest assured, this is likely just an early testing anomaly. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 on the international Galaxy Z Fold 6 should perform similarly to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chips used in the US model and the Galaxy S24 Ultra. So, to sum it all up, it looks like Samsung is sticking with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chipset for all versions of the Galaxy Z Fold 6, regardless of the region. This is great news for those who were worried about a possible performance gap between regions. We can expect the Galaxy Z Fold 6 to deliver top-notch performance with its powerful hardware and ample RAM. Whether you're in the US, Europe, or any other part of the world, you'll be getting a device that's built to impress. I hope you found this update on the Galaxy Z Fold 6 as exciting as I did. If you enjoyed the video, subscribing to the channel would be greatly appreciated. That's it for today. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, see you in the next video. Peace out. In just a few months' time, the iPhone 16 Pro Max will succeed the iPhone 15 Pro Max and take on the mantle as the best and most advanced iPhone out there. Although there's plenty of time until September and a lot can change, we seem to know a lot about the upcoming top iPhone model based on rumors and leaks. How is the iPhone 16 Pro Max shaping up against its predecessor? What's changing and what's staying the same? Let's see how the iPhone 16 Pro Max shapes up against the current best iPhone Apple has in its roster. First up, let's talk about design and size. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will inherit the same design language as the iPhone 15 Pro Max, employing the same titanium frame with a completely flat screen. The major difference between the iPhone 16 Pro Max and the iPhone 15 Pro Max will be size. The upcoming iPhone screen will grow to 6.9 inches across, a significant bump over the iPhone 15 Pro Max's 6.7-inch display. To achieve this, they're likely shrinking the bezels down even further and making the phone itself slightly larger overall. As per the rumors, the iPhone 16 Pro Max will measure 163mm in height and 77.58mm in width versus 159.9mm and 76.7mm for the iPhone 15 Pro Max, respectively. A small but notable change, all things considered. The iPhone 15 Pro Max debuted with an action button instead of a mute switch and a USB Type-C port at the bottom, so those two features will be carrying over to the newer model as well. However, the iPhone 16 series will be scoring another button, dubbed the Capture button. Colors-wise, the iPhone 15 Pro Max was available in 4 understated and titanium-inspired colors. We've heard that Apple might use another titanium processing technique that will make the iPhone 16 Pro Max glossier and also more capable of retaining colors. Moving on to display differences. As mentioned, the iPhone 16 Pro Max will come along with a significantly larger display, measuring at 6.9 inches across. Aside from the size, when you don't clearly expect any other major changes, we're certainly getting a liquid Retina XDR display with an OLED panel delivering superb colors, contrast, and exceptional maximum brightness. The screen will support 120Hz ProMotion refresh rate, making scrolling through the interface and on-screen content way smoother. Now let's delve into performance and software. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will feature a second-generation 3nm chip, possibly dubbed Apple A18 Pro. As one can imagine, we expect that the Apple A18 Pro will have better performance than the Apple A17 Pro. Due to the heavily rumored focus on AI for both iOS and the iPhone 16 range, we expect that the iPhone 16 Pro Max will come with a much improved neural engine to take care of all the generative AI features. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will also be a first to debut iOS 18 with a focus on artificial intelligence features. The new iPhone 16 Pro Max will also support faster Wi-Fi 7 and a more power-efficient 5G modem, keeping you future-proofed on the connectivity front. Let's talk about the camera. As the iPhone 15 Pro Max delivers a host of important camera features, chief among which is the new 120mm telephoto lens, the iPhone 16 Pro Max could finally address one of the forgotten cameras that hasn't recently scored any significant overhauls, the ultra-wide. Analyst Ming-Chi Kuo believes that Apple will be introducing a 48-megapixel ultra-wide camera on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. When it comes to audio quality, iPhone Pro Max devices are always up there with the best, setting the benchmarks for all other manufacturers to measure up against. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will be no exception. The same generally applies to haptics too. iPhones are arguably the best devices when it comes to haptic feedback, giving us precise and accurate vibrations that are sufficiently strong yet not overpowering. Lastly, battery life and charging. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will reportedly feature a much larger 4,676 mAh battery compared to the 4,422 mAh battery in the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Charging-wise, we haven't heard anything about a potential charging speed increase, but we hope to see one on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So far, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is shaping up to be a logical improvement to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, delivering key upgrades in important areas like screen size, performance, AI, and battery life. Thus far, we haven't heard anything particular about a potential price increase, so it's safe to assume that the iPhone 16 Pro Max will start at $1,199 for the 256GB version. Of course, if there's an iPhone 15 Pro Max in your pocket, then you'll probably have few reasons to upgrade to the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Stay tuned for more updates on the iPhone 16 Pro Max as we get closer to its release date. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the latest tech news and reviews. Thanks for watching. Until next time, peace.